Hello guys, thank you so much for coming back to watch another video on my channel. Now Christmas is around the corner, 2023 is nearly over in a couple of days time, and Konami has not announced any gameplay footage, any trailer for the Silent Hill 2 remake, Silent Hill Townfall, and the only thing we saw was Silent Hill Ascension, and we all know how that game turned out to be. So now we are aware of the projects which we're going to expect from Konami for these Silent Hill games, and we are waiting patiently that Konami would do some sort of an announcement in early 2024 with a release date or a gameplay footage for these games. However, there is one Silent Hill game which hasn't been announced by Konami yet and has the most potential to save this franchise. So without wasting any time, let's talk about this unannounced Silent Hill project. So if you're brand new to my channel, just to give you a disclaimer that I cover quite a lot of horror games, mostly Resident Evil or Silent Hill games. So if you do end up liking the sort of content I've got on my channel and you do end up liking this video, do give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel because it would allow me to make more of these videos for you guys. Now we all fans been waiting to hear some announcements and some gameplay footage for the upcoming Silent Hill projects from Konami, which has been announced, but we have not seen any further confirmation, any further gameplay footage, or any further trailer for those projects. We were waiting to hear something officially from Konami and hoping that Konami might do some sort of a showcase this year, just like they did originally when they announced all these Silent Hill projects, and show us some sort of confidence in these projects which they have been developing on the background. However, we've been disappointed and Konami has made no official confirmation. I don't know how their marketing works, and the only official Silent Hill game we got was Silent Hill Ascension, and let's not talk about it. Now among those games there is one Silent Hill project which has not even been announced by Konami but has the most potential. It has been leaked by some leakers before and through the websites rating this project has the most potential to be the most successful Silent Hill game yet. Now when I grew up playing these horror games, my two favorite franchises were Resident Evil for the survival horror games and Silent Hill for psychological horror games, and that's where these two genres were slightly different from each other and they both were successful in their own medium. The Resident Evil franchise continued to flourish, whereas Silent Hill franchise didn't got the same treatment, and when Konami announced PT Project, it was actually so exciting for fans who've been dying to see the revival of this Silent Hill franchise. Now Silent Hill PT was a sort of Silent Hill game we were expecting from Konami, a truly psychological, terrifying game played through a first-person perspective. And due to creative differences between Hideo Kojima and Konami, that game never got to fruition and never got to see a release date. Now the question you might ask that how does unannounced Silent Hill project, which hasn't been announced yet, has the potential to save and revive this Silent Hill franchise? Now first let's look at the projects we got in the pipeline from Konami. We got Silent Hill 2 Remake. It's a remake of the original Silent Hill 2 game, and that game was the best game for me out of the franchise. Then we have Silent Hill Townfall. It's getting made by the people who worked on the Observation game, and it's going to be a great Silent Hill project, we know, because the people who worked behind this Observation are quite talented. However, it's getting made by the indie developer and it's not going to be as big as a AAA project. Hopefully I'm wrong and this game could turn out to be the most successful Silent Hill game for the franchise. And then we got an offshoot title, Silent Hill F, which is based in Japan, based on the folklore, and a really good writer is working on that game, and that game can turn out to be another successful Silent Hill project. But it doesn't look like, even if you look at the trailer, it doesn't look like a mainline Silent Hill game. Now if you look at all of these projects, they don't look like a PT game which we were expecting from Konami. I know they're going to be successful Silent Hill games, however there is one more project which hasn't been announced by Konami yet, and it's named actually Silent Hill Short Message. Now this project was originally leaked by Dusk Golem and also been leaked through a Korean rating website around the time when everyone was talking about these upcoming Silent Hill projects and the leaks we were hearing about them, but due to no official announcement, no one actually talked about this game. Then this game further got leaked by Australian Classification Board with the plot details about this game. Now before I continue further on the plot details, I just want to give you spoiler alert, because there's going to be some plot details, some story details. So if you don't want to know about this unannounced project, that's fine, but if you don't care, you can continue to watch this video. However, you have been warned. Now the detail about this game goes as the strong suicide themes, horror violence and coarse language. This game is an exploration-based psychological horror game in which players control characters in an apartment called the Villa in a modern Germany. The player assumes the role of a young woman, Anita, who must explore the villa through first-person gameplay in order to collect clues and uncover what has happened to her friend. Anita is exploring a bathroom environment which features a bathtub filled with bloody water, blood-spattered tiles, and a razor blade on a bloodied sink. Upon examining a razor, Anita experiences a flashback. In a cutscene depicted through a first-person point of view, a voice yells, "This is all your fault. Bad things happen because of you," and a hand holding the razor enters the frame. The character's left arm enters the frame with horizontal scars evident across the character's wrist. The scene then cuts to a black screen before the razor makes contact with the character's wrist. The following shot features an image of the character's left arm with old and fresh scar. Then in a cutscene depicted through a mixture of third-person and first-person shots, the player character stands on the edge of the building's rooftop looking down. It is implied that Maya committed suicide by jumping off the ledge of the rooftop. Echoes of her mother's abusive tirades are heard in the background as Anita prepares to jump and says, "Maybe I can be like her. Here goes." Then in a first-person shot, her feet are seen near the edge of the ledge before, and in a third-person shot she steps off and begins to fall. Throughout the game, cutscenes depicting self-harm and suicide are followed by black screens which featured white text encouraging players to seek treatment and help if they are at risk of self-harm and suicide, and to offer support if they see people around them struggling. In the board's opinion, depiction of suicide and self-harm within the game occurs in the broader context of discourse exploring issues revolving around mental health, which encourages players to seek help or offer support to those in need. As such, the impact of the depiction does not exceed strong in impact and can be accommodated within MA15+ classification. Now, if you read the description, that this game is going to be playing in the first person in a very psychological horror game, that where you're going to be seeing this character who's going to be seeing her friend who committed suicide, and she's now having those thoughts as well herself. Obviously, we're going to see monsters, which is going to be depiction of the abuse she had from her mother or the characters around her, and obviously we will find out what sort of monsters we can expect in the game. However, this game strongly implies and focuses on the psychological horror part of the game compared to the most modern horror games we've been seeing from the Silent Hill franchise. And that was the reason as to why the original Silent Hill games were so popular, that focused on the psychological horror aspect of the games. You had Silent Hill 2 where we had the depiction of James' psyche, you had Silent Hill 3, even Silent Hill 4, and that's what differentiated Silent Hill brand of franchise from Resident Evil franchise. And this is how the Silent Hill franchise would be successful moving forward and continue to excel, because the Silent Hill short message would be dealing with the psychological horror aspect which the franchise is known for, and you'll be able to see the inner demons of someone who's having these suicidal thoughts. You'll be able to see their psyche, and it deals with mental health issues, which is a common thing in modern day and age. So I think this is going to allow this franchise to flourish by dealing with these strong languages, as long as the writing is really good in the game. So what do you guys think? Are you excited for this unannounced Silent Hill project? Please do let me know in the comment section down below in this video. So that's it for the video, guys. I'll catch you again with another video on my channel. Until then, look after yourself. Have a good one.